Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. My name is Will. This is Will of the Nerds, and we're back with another deck tech video. And this one is my original Hydra deck, which might be a little more than 60 cards, to be honest. I don't think it's too much more than 60. I think it's like maybe 62 to 64. So it's up to you if you find cards in here that you want to take out or not. But yeah, I'm separating the lands right now before we get in. This is a mono green deck, and I think this is my first mono green deck. So let's set those over here and let's go to new deck. This is just Hydra, so we're just going to call it Hydra. Casual, because I'm just casual like that. We're going to go to forests. I don't even know how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 16. Boom, boom, enter. Then we have a couple Blighted Woodlands. So Blighted Woodland. 1, 2. It's not from that set. It's from Oath of the Gatewatch. Battle for Zendikar. That's what it's from. Okay, so let's look at this. Add 1 mana. Add a colorless to your mana pool. 3 colorless, 1 green. Sacrifice this. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. It's okay. I think it's in there because I don't know if I can't remember if there's a Hydra or if there's a card in here that matters for forests, but it lets me get 2 basic land cards. So if you have nothing else to do and you want to crack that to get some forests, there's that. Kind of like, I mean, Evolving Wilds. I don't really like Evolving Wilds because it doesn't really do anything. I don't even think you can tap it for colorless. It's there to tap, crack, and that's it. At least this taps for colorless mana. And next we have Fertile Thicket for a play set of. So Fertile Thicket, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at this. It enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, you may look at the top 5 cards of your library. If you do, reveal up to 1 basic land card from among them. Put that card on top of your library and the rest on the bottom in any order. And it taps for green. So this also helps you search for a basic land card. So you play this, and next turn you're guaranteed a land if you don't have any, which is nice. I like that. All right. I'm going to save the creatures for last because this is a Hydra deck. That's basically what this deck is for. So we're going to go with all the sorceries and instants first, which I don't think there is a whole ton of. There's an enchantment in here. I didn't even know there was an enchantment in here. Okay, there's a little more in here than I thought there was. Not a whole lot, but more than I thought. Okay, so we have them all separated. Let's get the instants separated now, which it looks like there's only 2, and there is only 2. And it's a green deck. If you can guess what it is, drop it in the comments below right now and tell me what timestamp. If you haven't, it's Plummet. Because of course it is. Destroys a flying creature. I don't have this one. I have, what the hell is it called? Ixalan? Rivals of Ixalan. Basically the same thing. Destroy target creature with flying. There you go. Because Hydras, I think a couple of them have reach, but most of them do not. They're just big creatures. So yeah, need the thing in there to destroy flying stuff and protect yourself from flying stuff. Actually, Sandworm Convergence would probably actually not be a bad card in this deck, just because for mainly the main thing. It would create tokens The worm tokens would conflict with the Hydra thing, but, you know, it's semantics at that point, if that could be the right words. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not good at English. Lay of the Land for the next card. There's 3 of these in there, and it is search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So you're not getting mana, play this for 1. Guess what? You'll have 1 to play. Especially if you can't play one. If you didn't play one this turn and you have a mana available, you can do that, and it'll get you 1. Next card, this one is that this one's won me a couple games. This is probably my favorite uncommon card in green. It is Overrun, so I think I need to change it because the ones I have are from Conspiracy. I'm not sure how expensive this card is, but you never know. Creatures you control get a +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. Hydras are already big. They're getting even bigger with a +3/+3. Most Hydras, since they are so big, do not have trample. So now you're giving them trample. And usually nobody can stop it. So yeah, that's why it's won me a couple games, because they're like, I've got nothing for the trample. I can't. They cannot block the amount of damage that would be coming at them after this, or after you play that. Okay, next we have Sylvan Scrying. Sylvan Scrying. Again, I don't want that art. I don't even know if I have that art. This is Battle for Zendikar. Yeah, Battle for Zendikar. And what do you do? Search your library for a land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. So it doesn't have to be a basic land. It just has to be a land card, which is nice. Honestly, like, maybe want to throw a couple more mana in here. Maybe take Blighted Woodland out and throw some other, like, green mana source in here. I mean, it's nice that it gets you 2. But I've never really had the problem with Sylvan Scrying and Lay of the Land. And I think there's another one here that helps you search for mana. Actually, I think it's the one that's right in my hand. No, there's a couple in here. So yeah, you might as well get rid of Blighted Woodland and just throw more forests in there, in all honesty. Next is Traverse the Olvin, if I know how to spell. And I think this card is pretty expensive. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. If there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, instead search your library for a creature or land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. So, I don't know. Like, there's instant sorcery creature, and I think there is an enchantment. And there's lands, too, which if you sacrifice the land, you'd have the land. So it could work, but I would probably get rid of Blighted Woodland for more forests. And I wouldn't change anything else. I would maybe just make these basic lands. 22 is a little light for the Hydra deck. You're gonna need more. So I probably can't do the opening hand thing like I usually do, because you play these, you're going to be searching a lot. Alright, and we have Map the Wastes, which is basically the same thing. Search your library for a basic land card, except you get to put it on the battlefield, and you bolster 1. Of course, if you search your library, you have to shuffle. So, the bolster is nice. I think there's 2 of each of some of these in here just because I only had 2. I think Lay of the Land, there's 3 because I had 3. And Sylvan Scrying, I think I only had 2. Traverse the Olvin, I only had 2 of. And I think I had a few more Map the Wastes, but I just threw 2 in here because I had the other cards. Alright, next is the enchantment. It is Death's Presence for a 2 of. They are not from that set, so I'll have to change it. Whenever a creature you control dies, put X +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, where X is the power of the creature that died. Now, again, Hydras are big creatures. They get bigger because I put counters on them. When they die, all of that's going to another one. So I like to try to get Death Presence out as soon as I can. That way, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You can kill my Hydras, but if I have another Hydra out, it's just getting bigger. And I'm just waiting to get overrun. And when I get overrun, you're going to get overrun, and there's really nothing you can do about it, because at that point, my Hydras have trample. Okay, so we're up to 38 cards. I think there's more than 40 in here. So, all right, so we got H first. Let's pull the ones with H in the first letter of the card name. Okay, and we've got 4 here. We have Heroesbane. Heroesbane. I could have swore that's... Oh. Maybe it's... Is it Heroes? I still think it's pronounced Heroes. Yeah, there it is. Heroesbane. 1, 2. It enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. 2 colorless, 2 green. Put X +1/+1 counters on Heroesbane, where X is its power. So it's... If you pay 4 mana, it's basically doubling every time. 4... You don't have anything else to play. Next turn, it's 8. Nothing to play. Next turn, it's 16. 32. 64. You get the point. It can get ridiculous. And then if a creature dies and you move the +1/+1 counters onto it, it just grows quicker. And once it gets up past 20 and you put overrun, there's no stopping it. Unless somebody has a big creature of their own, there's nothing they can do. Hydrobroodmaster. Oops. Hydrobroodmaster for 2. It is not from that set, but we'll read it first. XX green monstrosity. You can pay the regular cost, but it becomes monstrous. Create a token. So the double X thing usually always confuses me. So if you pay 1 into the first X, you're creating 1 token. And if you pay 3 into the other X, it's going to be a 3/3. So you're getting 1 3/3 green creature or green Hydra token. Okay, so now we need to find it. Hydrobroodmaster right here, and it is like Journey to the Nyx. Yeah, okay, that one's right. That was just a guess, and I got it right. I just need to just guess more often, I guess. Guess. How many times am I going to say it? All right. L is for love, and how much I love all of you for watching my videos and supporting my channel. Really mean it. Bottom of my heart. You make me want to do content, and I do want to live stream. I just don't have the time to do it. Maybe I'll start doing it when I'm on vacation and try to find a schedule. I have vacation coming up soon, so we'll see. Okay, so we have Lifeblood Hydra. This one has trample. It enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, of course, because there's an X in it. When it dies, you gain life and draw cards equal to its power. You could do a thing to where you draw every card in your deck if you just, Death's Presence and just put all of your counters on Lifeblood Hydra and draw all of your cards and, just have some blue with Thoth's Oracle and then, just draw the rest of your cards, and if you have no cards, you win the game. That could be a thing too, but yeah. Green-blue, like, no-card win deck. I don't know how much Lifeblood Hydra is, but that could be a thing. The life gain's nice. I The card draw is also kind of nice. I mean, it's in there for obvious reasons. I think it's more in there for the card draw than it is the life gain. Usually once people notice I'm playing Hydras, I become a bit of a target because big beady creatures, big target on your back. Kind of annoying, you know. I wish people would just let me alone. Usually they let me alone and they don't kill me and almost immediately regret it. I think this deck it's about 50-50 on wins. Because usually before it gets going, I'll either get basically mana screwed and I won't get any of my cards to help me search for mana and I die, or I get the cards that help me search for mana and I have my Hydras out way quicker than what they need to be. And for the next card, ooh, that's not, what am I trying to spell here? Forgotten Ancient. I really like this card. This is one of my favorite rare cards. Not from this set though. So we got from a couple different sets. Commander 2016. Okay, correct. And this one's from, okay, Archenemy Nicol Bolas, yeah, okay. So, whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ancient onto another creature. That's why I like this card. It works in any deck that you want to bolster creatures in. And honestly, I should throw this in a Hydra deck because I'm an asshole. And we play multiplayer. And usually my friends play at least one spell per turn. And if we're playing basically a 4-player free-for-all, I'm getting a +1/+1 on it. And it's going to be a 4/4 when it comes around to my turn. At the base, it's going to be a 4/4 because that's counting me. That's counting anybody. And then I can move it. And if I'm playing like my Eldrazi deck, I can play Forgotten Ancient and overrun in it. And yeah. So there's a Hydra in here. It's not Heroesbane. It's another one, I believe. But throw your stuff on Heroesbane and it just gets out of control extremely quickly. Because you can it enters with 4. And at that point, you can just keep moving it over. And it builds up that way. And then when you have the extra 4 mana to double it, it's just going to be extremely insane at that point. Next we have is Feral Hydra. For a 2/. It enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Jesus Christ, what was that? 3 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on Feral Hydra. Any player may activate this ability. I forgot about that last part. So, I mean, that works in if you're playing teams. I don't have that version. I have the Battle Bond version. Boop. There we go. Yeah, so your teammate can play for it if you're playing, like, Two-Headed Giant. Or, what was it? There's another one. It's General or something like that. Or Emperor. Anyway, basically you have 2 generals, and the generals are playing each other, and then when one of the general dies, the Emperor or the Emperor starts playing. And yeah, it goes that way. It's been a while. I've only played it a few times. It's fun. I'd like to play it more. But we usually hardly ever have 6 people playing, so it's tough to get that going. I'd like to play Two-Headed Giant. It's been a while since I played Two-Headed Giant, but my luck in Two-Headed Giant is absolutely terrible. All right, Colonian Hydra. I have them from M14. So let's find that real quick before we start reading it. So don't read it. You're not allowed to read it. Don't read it. Not allowed to. Okay, Colonian Hydra. Trample. It enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. When it attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. yeah. So it needs to have a +1/+1 counter. A lot of Hydras enter with +1/+1 counters on it. So that's almost every Hydra. And if it doesn't, I have Forgotten Ancient in the deck, which means I can put +1/+1 counters on it if it doesn't have it. And it just doubles everything. And it's amazing. And I love it. And my friends hate it. And it's only a 4-drop, or it's a 5-drop too, which means it's not terrible. And if you have stuff to search for mana, it comes out by turn 5. If you're holding it, you got to make your mana drop, and you can have it. Oren Reef, let's do the dash there. Oren Reef Hydra. A boom for a 2/of. Trample landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on this. If a land is a forest, put 2 instead. Which, most of it is forests. Like I said, Blighted Woodland, you'd probably better off just changing it to a forest to help. So yeah, it's gonna get +1/+1 counters, which means it helps with the other one. We have 8 left. I think I have maybe 10 cards left. I don't know. We'll find out because I cannot count. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So there's 62 cards in this deck. Next is Fastwood Hydra for a 2/of. They are from M14, so that one needs changed. Boom. Oh, that's easy right there. Don't have to worry about it. Fastwood Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. So it could be 1, it could be 2, 4, 6, depending on whenever you play it. Whenever it dies, you may distribute a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on it among any number of creatures you control. Again, it's the same thing. You can throw it all on freaking Heroesbane. I mean, if Heroesbane, if you have Overrun in your hand, you might as well just put all of your cards in Heroesbane and just roll with it. And if you have both of your Heroesbane out and you go to attack, then you have a better chance of just not. But like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Obviously, put it on another Hydra. That way, if somebody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna block your Heroesbane or I'm gonna use the thing to destroy target attacking creature," you're like, "Well, I got like 3 other Hydras coming at you with trample, so thanks for setting me back a little bit." Okay, next is Olvin Hydra. So Olvin Hydra. This one. That's what I need, and I don't know what the hell set that is. Is that the new freaking Innistrad set? Because that's not the one I need. I have it from the old Shadows over Innistrad? Shadows over Innistrad. Mythic Rare. Reach. Power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Okay, which could be as big or as low as you want, which I don't think we... Nobody plays land destruction in my group, so it's just going to get bigger the more the game goes on. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped and then shuffle your library. So look at that. You turn 6, play this, you get another mana, you don't miss it for turn 7. And I mean, there's enough... I feel like there's enough mana search and mana ramp, not really mana ramp, mana search in this deck to help you. You could take some Hydras out and put mana ramp in here, but mana ramp creatures are small and squishy, and chances are they're going to get killed pretty easily. So I would rather just have stuff in here that helps me search for mana. Unless it's an enchantment or something, I would rather just have the mana. I'd rather have stuff in there that helps me search for mana. Okay, on to the next one, which is Mana Gorger. I had to stop and read it. I was like, that's not right, is it? Mana Gorger Hydra. For 2/of. Trample. When a player casts the spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. These are from Origins. Now I need to find it. There we go. Origins. Update. There we go. So another card that's 3 mana. What is Forgotten Ancients? It's 4. Okay, so you can play this. Whenever anybody casts the spell, it's going to get bigger. Next turn, play Forgotten Ancients. By the way, anytime any of you play spell, I get to play a counter on it. And as long as you have Death's Presence, Mana Gorger, if it gets killed, you just move your shit. I think I've kept some stuff on Forgotten Ancient too, just to make it a threat. Because you can move it at any point at the beginning of your turn. So you can let it go till it's like a 10-10, or what it would be like a 10-13 at that point. And then just move all 10 counters whenever you can, or whenever it's beneficial to do it. Alright, next is Genesis Hydra. And how long is this video? This one's been a little longer. I've been talking a lot. I really like this deck. This is one of my first big decks. Alright, this is M15. Whenever you cast this spell, reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put a non-land permanent card with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. It enters with X+1/+1 counters. X is going to have to be at least 4 or greater to get any kind of use out of it, in all honesty. Because a lot of your Hydras, most of your Hydras are more than that. I don't think it could be anything with X cost, but your sorceries and stuff will definitely help you. Now, what I'm looking for again? Genesis. A, B, C, D, oh, it's up here. I gotta do the alphabet in my head to get stuff in order. What did I say? Did I have these from? 15. Boom. And then the last 2 cards, which it's 62. So you could add these to your sideboard if you want. You can add any of these cards, any 2 cards to your sideboard. This one is Polochronos World Eater. Oh, hey, look. I didn't know he got a new card. And monstrosity cost. When it becomes more monstrous, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures your opponents control. Each of those creatures deals damage equal to its power to this card. Which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's probably... Would it kill it? I don't think it... Yeah, I think it would kill it. But, I mean, either way, I have a different art version of this card, so I need... Let's find him, because I want to know how much the... how much it is. Okay, so we're down to 60, so let's add that back. Let's change the one that we have. Is it the Dual Decks version of it? Yeah, it is. Okay. It's foil, though. Foily. I think the Dual Deck... I think the Dual Deck version's foil anyway. Because it's one of the main cards. Okay, so now we can save it. This video is a little longer. Jesus. Okay, so 24 creatures, 2 instants, 12 sorceries, 2 enchantments, 22 lands. Look at the details here. What is the most expensive card here? Colonian Hydra at 14 apiece. And then Lifeblood Hydra at 8 apiece. $75 for this deck. This is a little more on the high end. I don't think it's the most expensive deck I have. I think my most expensive was my Angel deck if I did it. It's like $300. I can't remember if I did my Angel deck on here. I used to have it on my last... deck stat thing before I made a new one for the channel. Let's look at the visual spoilers again. There you go. Now we can look at the starting hand. Probably easier to play that. Play that. Okay, so you're getting mana. That's 3. Still need 1 more to play Forgotten Ancient. I I would play Forgotten Ancient just to get a creature out, even if he's not going to get anything on it. At least you have a creature out. Then, oh man, that's what a swing that is. Search your library for a land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So you can play that. So now you got another land. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. So you got 2 land cards now. Play a land card. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 mana. Yeah, that's right. We played this. 5 mana. You have both Colonian Hydras. I'd play it. You might as well. Draw a card. Play your mana. I would... You know what? Screw it. Play your other Colonian Hydra. Yeah, it enters battlefield with 4, and then whenever it attacks, so you can attack with the 1. And now you double the +1/+1 counters on all of them. So Colonian Hydra, both of your Colonian Hydras are going to be 8/8s now. And then your Forgotten Ancient's going to be whatever it is now, probably more than an 8/8 at this point. Draw your card. Let's see. What would you play? You have 6 mana. You can play anything, basically. Becomes monstrous. Create a token. When a land enters, there's that. You know what? When it enters the battlefield, search your library for land. Yeah. Olvin Hydra. Throw it down. You search for a mana. Plop it on the battlefield. Now you have 7 mana on the battlefield. Attack with both your Colonian Hydras. So when it attacks, double the number of counters of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. So I think they would double twice because it's going to trigger once for the 1 Colonian Hydra, which make them 16/16s. And then the other one would trigger, which would make it 32/32s. And I think you'd be attacking with 32/32s at that point, right? When it attacks, yeah, when it attacks, double. So you're attacking with 2 32/32s and with trample, and that might do it. That's 64 damage already at turn 7. So, yeah, there you go. Well, there's the probabilities. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, hit that bell icon. That way you get notified every time I upload a new video. Follow me over on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description. I have a Discord now. It is Will of the Nerds, hashtag 3636. And if you want to talk Magic, if you want to talk Force of Will, Flesh of Blood, video games, anything like that, just go ahead and message me on there. I'm, free for constructive criticism. If there's anything you would like to see, if there's maybe a deck tech that you would like to see my interpretation of, just let me know and I can do that. Like I said, I want to do commander decks. So if there's like a commander that you want to see me do a deck tech of, just give me the commander and then I'll do a little research. It's not going to be right away. It might be a couple months, but I will eventually do it and get it. But with that, I will see you guys on the next one.